like to get him to pull out the veto pen. Earlier today, I had a chance to talk to Minnesota Representative Michele Bachmann. I asked her about the tax bill and whether or not she thinks it will pass. Take a listen.
The rule actually was pulled from the floor. We all went over to the floor for a motion to adjourn because basically both sides were in favor of the tax bill. There was no opportunity for debate in opposition to the bill. That's why we took the motion to adjourn. We thought we were going to vote on the rule, but the rule was pulled. They wanted to put provisions in regarding the estate tax. They may possibly lose some votes over it, but that whatever the rule finally becomes, we won't know until it's on the floor. That will determine what we're allowed to debate, and then we'll have a 3-hour debate, and then we'll vote on the tax bill. I still expect, Eric, that we'll have our vote this evening on the tax bill, but it's also possible that it may move then until Friday.
Right. Only in Congresswoman, that you have to vote on a rule to get to debate to vote on the actual bill. Let's move the discussion a little bit forward. I want to play a soundbite for you from then candidate Barack Obama. Take a listen.
Earmark system, what's called pork barrel spending, in Washington is fraught with abuse. It badly needs reform. I pledge to slash earmarks by more than half when I'm President of the United States of America. I'm not going to stand here and simply tell you what I'm going to spend. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to save. We will go through the entire federal budget, page by page, line by line. We will eliminate programs that don't work.
Senator McCain talks a lot about earmarks. There's no doubt that the system needs reform, and there are a lot of screwy things that we end up spending money on, and they need to be eliminated.
You know, Congressman, we heard about a $1.27 trillion package that's going to, I guess, be put on your desk next after the tax discussion. And in it, $8 billion plus of earmarks. What happened to that guy from October of 2008?
No, you're exactly right. It's almost a line from Shakespeare, thou protesteth too much, because the president has made his case. He's been very clear. He is in opposition to earmarks. And the very first bill that he signed, if you remember, Eric, when he took over as president, or one of the very first ones, was the 9,000 earmarks that were contained in one of the very early spending bills. Here's another opportunity, 6,600 earmarks. This is the president's opportunity to show that he's a man of his word. He should veto this bill with 6,600 earmarks. It's $1.1 trillion in additional spending. It's as though the Congress is holding the American people in contempt with what they said in November, because clearly the American people said, stop the spending that's not paid for, stop adding to our federal deficit. This is $1.1 trillion in spending. Then we have the tax bill that is estimated to be in excess of $800 billion. And don't forget, we have quantitative easing part 2, which will also add to our deficit, presumably. We're looking, just with quantitative easing, with the tax bill and with the omnibus spending bill, at $4.8 trillion in the next 24 months. I don't know how we dig out of $4.8 trillion. So this is territory we've never embarked in before.
So what do we do, Congressman? Are you against either the tax bill that you're going to vote on, or are you against this omnibus spending bill? What do you do? Do you vote them down and then risk taxes going up? And on the other one, do you vote against it and risk, I guess, government shutting down for a time?
Well, I'm against both of these bills, and I'm also in opposition to the quantitative easing part 2, because that will lead to inflation. And once inflation starts, it can be a fire that burns out of control. What we need to do are two things. I introduced a bill yesterday in Congress that would extend all of the tax rates at their current levels. It would also repeal the death tax and the gift tax. It would take the corporate tax rate from 34% down to 25%, because now Japan has announced that they're going to lower their corporate rate by 5%. They were formerly the top corporate tax rate in the world. Now the United States has the unfortunate designation of being top, and my bill would keep the AMT patch. So that's what I believe that we need to do, have a straight up and down vote on that bill. And we need to, frankly, have a continuing resolution to keep government functioning. No one benefits from shutting government down. Let it function for the next 3 weeks minimum. Then the new Congress that was elected should come back and make the spending decision.
Before I let you go, we've been hitting this pretty hard on my show. A lot of our viewers are in favor of this. I frankly have been sold on the idea. Can you comment on a flat tax? What do you think of a flat tax?
I'm in favor of a flat tax, and I believe that one of the greatest benefits is that all Americans would participate. That's part of the problem of our tax structure today. I'm a former federal tax litigation attorney, and today 47% of all Americans are not paying taxes. That's not a good place for our country to be. So we need to have everyone participate, broaden and flatten the tax, and I think it'll be fair for everyone.
Flatten the tax. So would that be in place? What we've been presenting is in place of an income tax completely. Would you recommend no income tax or some sort of mix between the both?
Well, if you look at flat tax proposals, they essentially are based upon an income tax, but they would replace the current tax code. As you know, Eric, the current tax code is over 50,000 pages long. A private individual or a business or a farmer doesn't stand a chance against a tax code like that, and the huge bureaucracy required to enforce that tax code. So we need, I think we need a full-scale simplification and repeal of the current tax code, and I would love to see us embrace a new, fairer, flatter tax system across the board.
Boy, I think you just broke some news there, Representative Michele Bachmann. We appreciate your time, and I know you're very busy. We'll let you get back to your voting. Thank you very much.